This past week, Darcy and I went on a food crawl in the west end of the city, Dovercourt Road between Queen Street West and Dundas. It's a stretch of road that doesn't have dozens of eateries, and quite frankly, is a little overshadowed by a street that runs adjacent to it. But for each eatery here, there's a story worth sharing. Whether it's for a drink at a very fashionable bar, slices at what might be the best pizza place in the city, a detour to Ossington for beers at an essential brewery, or a late night dinner at a restaurant that's mastered rotisserie chicken. We'll show you our highlights and point out a few things along the way. As always, if you like our videos, give them a like. If you want to see more great things from our city, Toronto, click subscribe.
All right, guys, so Bar Poet has something for everyone. They've got $10 pizzas, $9 house wine on tap. They've got skeet ball. They have high-end cocktails, champagne, whatever you're looking for. This beautiful bar has it. They've got real trees that are fireproof, wrapped in twinkle lights inside. It makes for a gorgeous night. So if you're looking for a place to come hang out, Bar Poet's got you covered. I got a peanut butter espresso martini, and Chris got the sour poet. So highly recommend, both really great top shelf drinks.
Guys, we are on Dovercourt Road right now. We're gonna go check out one of the best restaurants or food places on Dovercourt. You might think that's an overreaction, but
it's not.
If you've ever had pizza at Pizzeria Baciali, then you'll know exactly why she reacted that way. Let's go check it out. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that Pizzeria Badiali is one of, if not the best pizza place in Toronto. I mean, it's the place you take your friends and family to convince them that pizza is worth it. You can have special experiences with pizza. Not everything needs to be Domino's. Yes, you will wait in line. Yes, you'll have to pre-order your whole pies well in advance. Yes, you'll have to cram yourself inside with a bunch of people. And yes, you will get to enjoy a slice or six of some of the best pizza you'll ever have. They have slices for both meat eaters and vegetarians, but they really specialize in pasta sauce-based pizzas. And they have a revolving special either once a week or every other week. You really can't go wrong with this menu, like really you can't. Everything that we've had here is great, but if you're looking to be wowed, I'd recommend you get the vodka slice. It's creamy and flavorful, and it sings so well with their peppercini dip. And yeah, they have dips, salads, fun sodas, and merch. The whole shop is an absolute experience and a complete highlight on Dovercourt Road. And to be totally honest, I didn't really have to say anything. I just needed to show you this. Always good, right?
It's so good.
Before we could get to our next stop, we had a couple of hours to kill. Plus, a bathroom break is required after a few beverages. And while Dovercourt is this super cool street with a couple of outstanding spots like the ones we're covering in this video and others we'll cover at a later date, it's still mostly Victorian houses. And this laundromat. It has this laundromat here. So we walked over to Ossington. Remember that more popular street I told you about earlier? Now Ossington is the super trendy and hip street packed with restaurants and bars. It's the street that's gonna make lists around the world, and it already has. And while there are so many great places to visit on Ossington, especially if you're looking for a drink, our absolute favorite is Bellwoods Brewpub. For us, and many others, the star of this brewery is the patio. It's where you go to be seen, it's where you can go to mingle. It's commonly referenced as one of the best patios in the city of Toronto. The long lines are a good hint. Even on this mildly cold evening in February, a heater and a beer can keep us warm and toasty to sit outside. A lot can be said about Bellwoods Brewpub. If you live in Ontario, you can try some of their best beers at a local LCBO or a grocery store that sells craft beer. And if you're visiting, I highly recommend you visit their brewpub here on Ossington. Their alcohol menu is diverse, with a variety of seasonal taps always available. Our go-to is a Roman Candle, which is a juicy IPA. It's strong and it tastes great, and it gets you further along than you might expect, so just keep that in mind. They also have a solid food menu that offers seasonal dishes, and their food is commonly referenced as some of the best you can find at any brewery in Toronto. This definitely will not be our last time visiting Bellwoods Brewpub. If you visit sometime this summer, you'll probably find us on the patio. But for now, I think it's time to eat again. Our final destination on our Dovercourt food crawl might be the most notable stop yet. And that's saying something because I think we just had the best pizza we've ever had. Bernhardt's is a restaurant that specializes in rotisserie chicken. I know what you're thinking. Costco's, Swiss Chalet, St. Hubert's. This is nothing like those places. The owners were inspired by the rotisserie chicken restaurants in their hometown of Montreal. They wanted to recreate the style and flavor of those places, but with better quality ingredients and more variety. Our dinner here tonight was simple. We came for the rotisserie chicken. But let me be clear, Bernhardt's has an extremely acclaimed salads and nosh menu that requires its own essential visit. Our server even recommended that we get a half order of chicken and a few appetizers to balance things out. But hey, we just had pizza and more than a couple of bevies. We decided to stick to the main dish. We ordered a whole rotisserie chicken with a mix of potatoes and french fries, a coleslaw for each, 2 wonderful buns, some pickles, and 2 gravy boats. Now, try to imagine how the very best rotisserie chicken might taste. Or recall the best rotisserie chicken you've ever had. It's barbecued, crispy skin, extremely tender, piping hot. This was that. This meal will replace that core memory you've just recalled because it's so incredibly right. It's perfect. And the fries and potatoes were top of the class, the coleslaw and pickles added the vinegar and crunch you're looking for, the bun was soft and a perfect complement to the chicken, and the gravy rocked. This was a meal that you'll enjoy time and time again. For dessert, you can choose between a soft serve special or a flourless chocolate cake. There just wasn't any room in us to keep going, but we will definitely find a way next time. Taverne Bernhardt's is a tough reservation to snag. You'll need to plan in advance. But this place is oozing atmosphere, and part of that experience are tight tables, the packed restaurant, dim lighting, eclectic art, and music that'll make you forget you're singing in public. It's an incredible way for us to end our food crawl and should be at the top of your list for your next trip to the west end of the city. Before we say goodbye, there's one more place we'd like to highlight. The Center of Addiction and Mental Health is a prominent part of this end of the city. It has been for well over 150 years. And one of the best ways to learn about the history of this organization is to visit TD Commons. Revitalized in 2019, TD Commons sits near Ossington on Queen, near all the CAMH facilities. And it's a beautiful 7,100 square meter open space that incorporates and displays the various historical and heritage elements of CAMH's history. It also integrates mixed-use elements like a beautifully lit walking path, a children's play zone, and an outdoor art installation. TD Commons has been a great addition to this community. It plays host to various markets and crawls throughout the year. So if you find yourself in this part of the city and you're looking for a public area to spend time in, and if you've got the family, this is a great spot to visit. You'll learn a few things about the history of this organization, and you'll be able to do it in a beautiful space.
This wraps up our trip to Dovercourt and the west end of the city. We'll be back in the area to try Astoria in the Great Hall and the Wes Anderson-inspired bar, Bar Mordecai, along with a few other notable joints. Again, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click the like button. And if you want to see more great things from our city, Toronto, click the subscribe button. We'll see you soon.